Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel. Welcome to Look Back, a series of videos that I do where I talk about reviews that I reviewed last year, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and 20 years ago, and I tell you what I think about them now, if I think about them at all. So let's get started. 20 years ago, I reviewed Siena. Siena is a very interesting game. It was a game I remember specifically that was beautiful. It was built on like a painting type thing, but it was the first time where I thought of the whole idea of form over function, where you could not figure out how to play the game because they just wanted to look so pretty that they didn't actually put on the board how to play. So unfortunately, zoo games didn't last very long after this. 5 out of 10. Australian rails. I like the crayon rail system a lot, although they're very long games, 3 to 4 hour games. They work best with 2. A lot of caveats. This one was pretty decent, 6.5. Ellison, the First City. This is from Klaus Teuber. You probably haven't heard of it. It's sort of it's building a city in Catan. And so you're putting the city together. There's a lot of different things going on. It's just a very different style game that no one has ever played. 7 out of 10. But I liked it. Control Nut. This is from James Miller, who recently passed away a few years ago. He just one of the games was posted posthumous after he died was Hooky. This was his other game he did, a trick-taking game in which you were bidding to take these little powers that could change the numbers in a trick. A 7 out of 10. Havoc, the 100 Years' War. A bunch of grumpy engineers got together and formed a little company to make some board games. They didn't like a lot of games that were out there. They made this little card game, which actually was a pretty good one, using poker hands to fight, in a sense. 8 out of 10. Manila. Oh, I still remember the first time I played this game. From Franz Benno de Long, who also has passed away. This is a kind of just a betting game. There's these boats racing down the river. You're going to bet which one's going to win. You're going to bet which one, if how many boats are going to make it, and things like that. I'm really annoyed that I didn't think of this game when we just did our games that need a 2.0, because this would be an amazing 2.0. I always liked this game a lot. 8 out of 10. Ket, the laser game. This was eventually remade in 2011 by Think Fun called Laser Chess, which is a much easier name to remember. Ket, the laser game, is just a game in which you are moving these mirrors around, trying to hit your opponent's leader by pressing a button, and a laser bounces off the mirrors. It's really cool. 8 out of 10. Railways of the World. This is the big expanded version that Glenn Drover did of Martin Wallace's game Age of Steam. I liked it better than Age of Steam. It was much more open. This doesn't hit the table as much as it used to for me, but I still like the big, sprawling, fun nature of it. 8 out of 10. And Wits and Wagers, now 20 years old. Wits and Wagers is a very fun game to play. My high rating of it, an 8.5, is mostly because of this is one of the best group games in the world, like large groups. I've done it many times. Everyone has a really fun time doing it. I just really enjoy it. All right, 10 years ago, I reviewed Trickerion, Legends of Illusion. Didn't know who Mind Clash was back then. I remember seeing this game thinking, wow, what a cool theme. And it is a cool theme, but for me, the theme never really gelled. I didn't really like this one. I felt it was too much work, and I didn't think the theme was strong enough. 5.5. Epic Card Game. I honestly don't remember what my initial rating of this was. It's now a 6. I think it was initially a 7 or higher. It feels like Magic the Gathering with these massive cards. Every card is game-changing and everything. That's kind of cool, but it's dimmed a little bit for me over the years. It's fine. 6 out of 10. Exoplanets. A greater than game about making planets. 6.5. Floating Market from Matt Riddle and Ben Pinchback, this is they made a lot of cool games about the famous floating market. It's fine. 6.5. The best treehouse ever. I love the theme of this one, building this really cool treehouse. I just wish the mechanisms were as strong as the fun theme. Another 6.5. Mo Money. This is from Mayday, a game that time has forgotten, even though it's only 10 years old, where you just go around, cut people's grass, and make money. So it's like a kid-type game, card game. Doesn't look great, but it was enjoyable. 7 out of 10. City of Spies, Estoril 1942. I really like this game. 7.5. I think I originally gave it an 8 or even higher. I really liked it, but time has cooled a bit, but the idea of placing spies and there's a bunch of area control. They remade this game with a space theme called 2491 Planet Ship, which wasn't as good of a theme, frankly. But I do think the original one, City of Spies, SRL 1942, kind of scared people away, but it's a pretty solid game. Spookies. Haba made 3 different games that came out at the same time. And Spookies was the one people forgot about the most. Kind of a rolling dice, push your luck type thing, but I enjoyed it. 7.5. Clask. What a great game. Kind of like the opposite of air hockey. Instead of having your hands on the table, they're under the table with magnets, kicking piece. This game still does well. It's still at Dice Tower conventions. Lots of people enjoy it. 8 out of 10. The World of Yoho. I want to talk about this one briefly. This is a game that people are going to point to that's 10 years old now. Like, that is why we don't want games with apps. In World of Yoho, you had your ships that moved around. It was your phone. It would move around on the board and do things. You'd sometimes pick up your phone and do stuff at an island. But if you move your phone next to someone else, your ships would shoot at each other, would actually shoot from one screen to the other, which was still really cool. The game didn't sell very well at all. They tried to redo it, still didn't sell well, and it died. And the app has no support now. I don't think you can play it, which is unfortunate, but during the time I enjoyed it. However, near the end, I kept running into problems, and they were app-related in the sense of you both need to be hooked up to the internet. It drained batteries like all get out. I think apps and games, I think this is one of those things where I would still love to see this done again. I would love to see this come back. I think 10 years later, the tech can handle it better. It is what it is, 6 out of 10. And then Adventureland. What an amazing game. Adventureland was the other game from Haba that people did not talk about it that much, but I still love it. I just mentioned it in games that need a 2.0 where you can move. Joey calls it the writing down game, writing down. But it's just so much fun. It's you move, you turn over a piece, something shows up in the grid, you move over. There's multiple gameplays. It's just such a satisfying, entertaining game. Adventureland, 9 out of 10. Then 5 years ago, I reviewed A Christmas Story, a major card game. So this came from Prospero Hall, and at this point, they had made some really good games based on themes. This one felt like they were just throwing stuff at the wall. Not good at all, 4 out of 10. We Need to Talk. Now, I like the idea of this game where someone has a problem and everyone is doing an intervention for them, and you have to figure out what your problem is. That's a funny, and it's like a silly problem, like I collect too many bicycles, or whatever it might be. It's fun. The idea of it is funnier than the game execution. 6 out of 10. Tattoo Stories. You look at you draw tattoos. You're trying to get points. It's a drawing style game. 6 out of 10. From Bicycle. They tried to get into the game business. Didn't last very long. Tawantasuyu Incan Empire. This is in the T series of games, and this is one I thought was merely okay. I give this one a 6 out of 10. Going up pyramids, you have the major action, the minor action. I always remember that the minor action is much more interesting and seemed bigger than the major actions. This one has not passed the test of time. I think I just pulled it from the Dice Tower library. I only have so many space on the shelf for games, and I think this one just got pulled. Camp Pinetop. This is kind of a move around and collect and can do things to get these little badges. A cute little game. 7 out of 10. Fossilis from Kids Table Board Games. This was a really neat gimmick where you're taking tiles off and digging down to find bones and stuff. I really like the concept of this. The gameplay is good, not great, but the theme is really strong, and I like it a lot. 8 out of 10. Dwellings of Eldervale. I dropped this just a bit to an 8.5, but that's only because I'm just playing the new one, the space one, Andromeda's Edge. But that doesn't make Dwellings of Eldervale still not a tour de force. What a cool game. And then Adventure Tactics Dominae's Tower. I keep hoping that they take this system and do it again. If you like Final Fantasy Tactics as a board game, this is definitely one that it just does it. It's great. 9.5. All right, last year I reviewed Acornism, a little game about acorns, but there's some fundamentally flawed logic as you put out tiles, adding numbers together. Didn't like it. 4 out of 10. Defenders of the Wild. A lot of people enjoy this one, so maybe I'm in the minority here. This is a cooperative game, but there's just, where you're defending the wild, there's just too many things going on, and the randomness level I thought was extremely high. 5 out of 10. Hold Your Ground. You press a button, and a hammer hits the board, knocks a piece out, and all the armies there are dead. That's a fun gimmick. The game is fine, but the gimmick is fun. 6.5. Yama. This is an abstract game where you're building a pyramid. I thought it was pretty neat. 7 out of 10. Hamster Roll. This is an old game that they remade with a wheel, and you're putting pieces on, and the wheel spins, and you don't want to knock any pieces off on your turn. Classic game, 7 out of 10. Sail or Die. This has a very weird cover. You can see the weird cover. What is going on there? It's a game in which you're trying to get rid of cards, but not necessarily at the right time. It's just weird. You have to watch the review. From Loosey Goosey, all their games are weird. But I like this one. 7 out of 10. Betakuma's Fart and Furious. I'm embarrassed that I like this. This is the game I should put on my list when people say, do you have a guilty pleasure game? Because this is about farting in an elevator and then getting off before people know it was you. You just, simultaneous selection, it's really stupid. But the art and everything, I'm just so amused by this game. 7 out of 10. I can't say it's a great game, though. And Diluvium. This is kind of a small 4X style game. There's a lot of stuff going on, going around and collecting resources and upgrading. It's pretty small. It's not quite as small as maybe Tiny Epic Empires or 8-Minute Empires, Tiny Epic Kingdoms, but it's still not a huge game, and I was amused by it. A 7.5. Anyway, those are the reviews I did 1, 5, 10, and 20 years ago. Thanks for watching. I'm Tom Vasel. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching another video here on the Dice Tower. We really appreciate you stopping by and checking our things out. Thanks so much for joining us today. And hey, if you really like what we're doing here at the Dice Tower, then there are different ways to support the Dice Tower. One of those ways is through Patreon. We have links in the description to this video. And we have links to lots of other things we do down there, so definitely check it out. But either way, we're glad you watched us. Tell your friends about the Dice Tower. Until next time, though, I'm Tom Vasel, and I hope you enjoyed this video.